All right, the stock market may have given us a signal yesterday that it's ready to start a decline phase or a crash phase, right? I'm going to show you how to protect your portfolio. More importantly, how to make a lot of money from this market crash, right? It's a very important opportunity right here. This is what we wait for in the market cycle to capitalize on this type of unique opportunity. This is where all the big money's made. I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's get started. All right, today I'm going to start out looking at the VIX, right? The VIX is our fear gauge telling us when fear and panic is starting to come into the market. Volatility generally means the market is heading down, all right? I have a couple parameters I like to watch. I made some videos on it. Generally, it's the 21 day, right? When the VIX starts to go above at the 21 day, that's when I kind of perk up my ears, say, hey, maybe something's starting to happen. I should start paying a little bit closer attention. So right now, I think it's a good time for all of us to start paying a little bit closer attention to the market and see what's going on. Because the VIX in the last handful of days has went above 21 a few times, right? And it's contracted back below it. So what that's saying is that institutional traders are starting to buy put options to protect their portfolio in the market because they're starting to see more and more likelihood that it's going to go down, right? So the more they buy put protection, the higher this VIX goes, brings volatility up, fear comes into the market, the S&P starts to collapse and everything within it. And then everything in the market typically follows suit. So we're starting to see nothing earth-shattering yet, but we are seeing a continued habit of more and more volatility starting to creep into the market at a slow pace, but it seems to be at a steady pace right now. All right, next I'd like to look at the QQQ. QQQ is an index ETF of the NASDAQ. And if you watch my previous videos, you'd learned that I like to see this thing come below the 30-day moving average from 3 to 5 days or more to tell me that, hey, this market is starting to go down. And if you look here, you can see it's been below the 30-day moving average for many more days than 5. Okay, so that's giving me a pretty clear indication that, hey, this market is starting to trend down just looking at this. Then I like to look at the 1 week chart as well. And if you look at the 30-week moving average, I like to see it come below here. And if you see it's come below here a couple times and then bounce right back above it and it came below it again and bounce back above it, I'm starting to think it's going to come back below it and go further down is going to be its next move, okay? There's no guarantee of that. No one knows what's really going to happen. We just have to wait and see. But I am taking preparations for that. I'm setting my mindset, right? So when the crash comes, I'm telling you right now, no matter how many times you've been through it, it still feels very uncomfortable. Even when you're prepared for it, even when you're ready to take advantage of it, it still feels negative when it happens. So you want to learn to embrace it. Get excited for a decline because I'm going to show you how to make a lot of money, and I'm going to show you right now. All right, let's go over to the SPY. Now with the SPY, here's what's going to happen. If this market collapses, I'm going to give you an example right here. I'm going to draw this trend line. Let's just say this market collapses this far, okay? Hypothetical. All right, and then this market consolidates a little bit for a couple of weeks. And then this market decides to go back up over time. We know the S&P 500 always goes back up. So let's just say the market does that over the course of the year. Now, it may bounce around a bunch more, and it's not going to go up in a straight line. We know that. But just for example purposes here, let's just assume this is the path it's going to take, all right? Now, what if I showed you a way where you could get in the market right here, and if the market came down, you only came down about half as much or maybe a little bit more than half as much. All right, so we're going to go mark this one as green. Well, I don't like the way green looks. We'll go with purple. All right, so what if you only came down less than the market when it crashes, right? It comes down to here. What if I show you a technique where you only come to here, right? And the whole time you're coming down to here, you can also be generating income in the form of cover call dividends, right? And then during this consolidation period, now you're only going to go across like this as it consolidates because you didn't come down as far. Okay, and then what if I showed you a strategy? And these are simple strategies, and I'm going to show them to you. What if I showed you a strategy that now when this market goes back up, you can go up twice as fast? So what that would do is that would take this, and we're going to copy it, and we would say, okay, there's one time the market recovery. What if I said you can do 2 times the market recovery? Clone. All right. So in essence, this is what would happen. The market would come down. This is the big crash. It doesn't look that big on this chart, but we're going to say that's the big crash, okay? So the market comes down here. It consolidates, finds its bottom, and recovers. Everybody's back to even, right? They're right here back to even. What if I showed you how to go down less while generating income on the way down, if you preferred? And then once it went down and consolidated and ready to go back up, you go up twice as fast. So now when everybody else is back to even, you're going to be way up here. All right, that's the way I trade, and that's the way I review trading on this channel if you haven't picked up on that already. Now I have a course. If you're interested in my course, it's at the top of the description. You can download it and follow along. Right? I also have a membership. If you want to join the membership, I'll share my trades with you. I come on at least twice a month or more if necessary. If the market's doing something weird, I'll come on even more often. But then you can see exactly what positions I'm in. But if you like this type of trading idea and you want to do this, I'm telling you right now, get my course. You'll be real happy that you did, okay? Or join my or both, join my membership, and you'll be able to follow along with what positions I have. The course will tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing and everything like that, but the membership will show you exactly what positions I'm carrying at any given moment if you want to keep up with my trades. All right, now, this is very easy. Let me show you how this is done in a roundabout way. I'm not going to give you all the details, but I'm going to show you how it's done, right? And here's all you do. Let me get rid of all these lines. Right, but all you do is you buy a low beta position. Low beta right here. That goes down less than the market. If you don't know what beta means, you might want to go Google that outside of this video and learn the beta. But what beta means is how fast it generally moves with the market. So if it has a beta of 2, that means if the market goes down 10%, you're going to go down 20. If it has a beta of 0.5, then that means the market goes down 10%, you're only going to go down 5%. Well, that's the type of position. You need to know when to transition into that type of position. And my system will show you when to transition into that type of position because you don't want to get in at the wrong time. Then the market go up and you don't make the money that you should be making. You want to get at the right time when the market's ready to go down. So you capitalize on that. You protect yourself from the decline and then you maximize the recovery. All right, so it's pretty easy when I tell you, buy a low beta stock at the right time as the market's rolling over, which looks like it may be very soon. We don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but it's starting to show signs, right? You want to prepare yourself. That's why I'm making this video today, help you get prepared. So you prepare yourself for that when the time is right. Don't wait till the crash has already started, then it's too late. You want to prepare yourself in advance. So now you're going to go down, when you get down here to the bottom, right? And everybody else has gone way down here, right? And you're only right here, you're doing really well. Well, there's cases where you can buy products here to also provide income. So you're getting income while you're going down slower than the market as well. And then there's other vehicles I show you in my course, and they're high beta vehicles. And it's that simple. Now you want to buy a high beta vehicle at the right time, such as anything that's going to move up faster than the market. If the market goes up at a 1 beta, which is standard, you want to get something that goes up 2 beta or maybe 3 beta or even more if you know how to leverage yourself properly with the right risk settings, right? And at the right time, then you're going to get in and you can go up much faster than the market. Much, much faster than the market. Sometimes 2, 3, or 4 times as fast as the market, depending on how well you leverage yourself and what position you took as this market transitions back up, right? It's very important. These are very powerful trading techniques that I'm expressing to you right now. And I invite you to download my course, study it, read through it, join the membership, and make these trades because an opportunity is coming right now for everybody to make a lot of money in the stock market if they're properly positioned. If you've been watching this channel, I talk a lot about phases, market cycles. Well, this is a very opportunistic part of the market cycle that's coming up if you really want to hone in and take advantage of it. Now, if you think you're going to just continue to sell covered calls or sell cash secured puts or swing trade or any type of trading that you've been doing, that will not work in a market decline. We all know that. There's really no strategy that works in a market decline except for a shorting strategy. And I don't short the market. I always leverage in for the upside because if you watch this channel, you know that the S&P 500 has upward drift. It's always going to go up over time. And I take advantage of that. I count on that. It's reliable. I take that reliability of that knowledge and I plan accordingly to exploit the moves of the S&P 500 to make large amounts of income. You can do the same thing. Follow along with me and see where it goes. You're going to be very happy at the end, all right? We don't know if this market's going to crash, but it's looking like it's setting up. You want to make sure you're prepared, all right? Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.